Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment.
That one is drilled deep to left field off the bat of Higashioka. See ya. That one is crashed to left field. It's a tie game. A home run for LeMahieu. High fly ball. Deep right field. Rarely back. Track. Wall. See ya.
Today is Sunday, August 27th, and it's Game 3 between the Yankees and the Rays. Carlos Rodon was on the mound and trying to lead the Yankees to a series victory. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Hey, before we get to the recap of another Yankees loss, let's start with a real quick Martian tracker. Brian Hoke tweeted this morning that we may see Jason Dominguez this September. He is off to a blistering start in AAA. Had another good day today. He went 2 for 3 with a triple and a walk, 2 more RBIs. He's got 10 RBI in his first 7 AAA games. I keep seeing exit velocities posted on Twitter every time he gets a hit, and it's, 103, 107, 109, 105. He's definitely hitting the ball hard, hitting 478 at AAA so far. It will not be long, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Austin Wells hit his 5th home run today since being promoted to AAA a few weeks ago. They said they want to give him some time at first base, but today they started him again at catcher. I think the time to take a look at him at first base would have been over the last few years, but they've been working him out a lot behind the dish. But I do think we're going to see at least one, if not both of these guys in September. So as Samuel L. Jackson said in Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. So 32 games remaining for the Yankees in 2023. If one stat sums up the mood this summer, the Yankees just lost their 8th straight rubber game.
I'm a loser.
Really, really tough year for the Yankees. Friday night, we did a pregame show. Saturday, I took the day off, so did not do post games either of those days. Garrett Cole dominating on Friday night. We did not give out a belt, but if we did, it would have gone to Garrett Cole. Yesterday, not such a good game. 2 hits, both by DJ LeMahieu. DJ had another good day today. At this point in the season, as I've mentioned a few times, wins and losses are not that interesting to me. The Yankees are out of it. They have less than a 1% chance to make the postseason. It's only a matter of time before we're watching the post-mortem video, which I finished today, by the way, in August. Yikes. But it is interesting to watch the individual storylines. I want to see if Judge can get to 40 home runs. He went 0 for the series. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts today. That dropped his average to 266. So he hits 3 home runs. He hits one the next day on fire. Maybe he got a little bit into home run mode. Now he's immediately in a slump. Just goes to show you how hard this game is. I want to see the advancement of Anthony Volpe, see if he can finish strong. He had a good day today. I want to see if Oswald Peraza can hit. He has not hit so far. 0 for 2 today, hitting 153 now. I want to see if Everson Pereira can hit against a big league pitcher that's trying to get him out. Seriously. And I believe he had 1 hit today. He was 1 for 4, still hitting 136. Does not seem to handle the slider very well, but that's true of a lot of players, even seasoned vets like Giancarlo Stanton, Josh Donaldson, who, by the way, could be coming back. Yay. But I think it's important to also take a look at Carlos Rodon, what he does down the stretch here. I think it's fair to call his first season with the Yankees a disaster, but I still look forward to watching him pitch every time because I want to know what we have, and I want to have a little bit of hope for next season. And today, not a great start. 2 runs in the first inning, including a monster home run, line drives all over the place. He left the bases loaded, though, with a big strikeout, and then he flat out settled down and dominated. So, we'll talk more about his stuff, but this was a big start for him in a season that's otherwise over. he's got to try and line himself up to finish strong so he's not sitting on that unconfident feeling all winter. And today I thought he pitched well. I actually tweeted in the first inning when he gave up those runs, I said, this is going to be a bad contract. Worst contract ever. But he seemed to put it together. So kudos to him. His catcher was Kyle Higashioka. He got the first run back with a solo home run in the third inning. 9th of the season. First hit by somebody not named DJ LeMahieu since Friday night. Next batter was DJ LeMahieu, and he tied it up with a solo shot. 12th home run of the season for him. His third of the series. It's encouraging to me that he's put together a decent second half under the tutelage of Sean Casey. They talked about how well those two are working together on the broadcast. At one point, I figured he would be a goner next season, even with the $15 million hit, but he's turned it on enough that I think the Yankees are going to be loyal to their guy, and they're going to bring him back next year. And at this point, I think that's fine. You know, if he's going to hit, then yeah, you want him around because he's a contact guy. But I don't think that you can afford to play him every day like they've been doing this season. I mean, he's broken down pretty much every year. This is really the first year that he hasn't broken down completely. Played in 108 games so far. Played in 125 last year, 150 the year before that. So with 32 games left to go, you figure he plays in, 25 of them? So yeah, he's going to play in about 120, 130 games. You know, maybe you dial it back 10 or 15 games next year. And maybe you keep the production a little bit higher. You know, so he's not dealing with nagging injuries all season. Top of the fourth inning, rookies got it done. Everson Pereira with an opposite field single. And then Anthony Volpe, 2-run shot, 18th of the season. He's almost at 2020. He's been using right field a lot more in the second half, so I like that. I think next year, there's no question in my mind he's going to hit 250, 260 with 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases. And he's played above average defense. You know? Look, I get that he had some trouble early on. I think he adjusted to the exit velocity coming off the bat from major leaguers. He had never seen anything like that before. Never played on artificial turf before. And so he made some errors. You know, I remember Toronto, he had a tough series. But he's been very steady defensively over the last couple of months. Rodon was done after 4 2/3 innings, just 84 pitches. Still coming back from the hamstring injury. He looked like he was out of gas to me. I had no problem with Boone going to him there. Still left 2 men on base. Ian Hamilton came in and took care of business. Final line for Rodon was 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. You know, obviously it looked horrible in the first inning, but then he settled down, and I was impressed. Fastball was up to 98. Slider was effective. I still think he needs another pitch. If I'm the Yankees, I'm calling Andy Pettit up, and I'm saying, hey, Andy, make room on your ranch this winter because you're getting a roommate. Carlos is headed your way, and he's not leaving until you teach him that backdoor curveball. Rays got to Hamilton in the bottom of the 6th. Big play of the inning was a 2-out, bases-loaded bloop single that, if we're being honest with each other, Gleyber Torres should have caught. Looked like he backpedaled a couple of times and then kind of turned, and by then, you know, it was just out of his reach. It looked like he was going to play it nonchalant, to be honest with you, which is something we've seen a lot from him. And it carried more than he thought, or he lost it in the roof. Either way, I think he should have caught it. And I'm not saying he should have been standing under it, but we've seen him make that play. Rays ended up getting another very big hit with 2 outs and runners in scoring position to make it 6-4. Something the Yankees just never seem to do. They never seem to get that big hit with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Rarely. I mean, it's an event. It's like, you know, that meteor, the comet, Halley's Comet that flies by once every, several decades. It's about how often the Yankees get, a team that hits well with runners in scoring position. Abreu hit Randy Arozarena in the 8th inning. I thought that was fun. Bench is cleared. They cleared twice, actually. I was hoping that we would get to see Giancarlo at least body slam somebody in this game, but no such luck. Yankees drop a tough one. Rays hang on to win. Yankees get 4 hits.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Hammy, also in agreement, says that Gleyber absolutely should have had that. I was shocked he didn't have it. It looked to me like he was, like his first couple of steps were just back pedals, right? And sometimes that can happen if you think it's going to carry right to you, but it just had more lift. And so he just got off to a bad jump on it. And whether that was lackadaisical, approach to the play, or whether it was just he was genuinely fooled by the dome or the crowd, or who knows. But probably should have caught that baseball. So let's see here. PWS says Rodon should be next year's closer. He has 2 pitches and is fragile. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, first of all, he makes so much money. So much money. I think it's easier just to have him throw another pitch more. We've seen him throw the curveball, but he buries his curveball in the dirt. It's a swing and miss pitch. He needs a pitch that he can backdoor for a strike. Throw a big, slow curveball, a roundhouse David Wells curveball that he can drop in on 0-0. Get ahead with a strike. And then once you're 0-1, you can elevate that fastball. And you have guys a little bit more defensive because they don't want to be down 0-2. So they might chase something at the top of the zone. Or you can throw that cutter. But you got to have something other than fastball cutter. Or slider, whatever you want to call it. Big Ed says, John Carlos still jogging out to fight right about now. Nathaniel Bressie says, do you think we'll win another series the rest of the season? I don't think so. I mean, maybe. We played the Tigers. We play who else do we play? We got some easy games coming up that, well, theoretically should be easy. But this team has quit. I think it's appropriate now to start talking about managerial replacements. We're hearing more and more chatter that Aaron Boone could be let go after the season. I would love to know from the community who would be your choice to replace him. In my opinion, there's really 3 to 5 guys. There's Beltran, who was hired as the Mets manager and then dismissed before he ever really got a chance. Joe Madden had some success with the Rays, went out to the Angels, didn't get it done, but he works well with young players, and the Yankees are going to have a lot of young players coming up. Shelley Duncan, manager of the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Now that's the way, if you're going to go with a rookie manager, that's the way I prefer to do it. Someone who's managed for a few years in the minor leagues. Buck Showalter, when he came up, was great. Got the team turned around. He was the right guy for the right moment. Don Mattingly, obviously a Yankees favorite. You've got Hensley Mullins, who he missed out on the manager job to Boone the first time around, and then he was the bench coach last year, but he left this year. I forget where he went. But Ron Washington, I believe Ron Washington is happy where he's at. Although, I would hire him in a second. Good manager. Hank wants Kevin Cash. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to let him go. LV says, why even wait? Do it now. Well, I mean, there's really no point. You got a month left in the season. You don't want to start a managerial search right now. You don't want to create that story. Just let him finish out the season. Call him down to Tampa on, October 5th or 6th, in between rounds of the, wild card and division series. Let him go then. Then you got 3 weeks to evaluate your organization, to look at your scouting, to look at your minor league development, to talk to your players, to survey who's out there, to have some interviews, and come to the right decision for the right person to manage this ball club. To me, I'm sure Aaron Boone is a nice guy. It seems like the players like him. They're defending him. He's a nice guy. But as a manager, you can't always be everyone's friend. You've got to lay down the law sometimes. You got to have that little bit of fear. You got to, know that if you don't hustle, this guy might bench me, which is something that the Yankees don't do. Izzy says Joe Espada. That's possible. Mike Giarmita says Posada as bench coach. I love Posada. I was thinking about, just coaches to have around. And a name came out the other day that I really like the idea. Didi Gregorius. Speaks multiple languages. Was an absolute spark plug in the clubhouse. Everybody loved him. He was a lefty who learned how to hit the ball in Yankee Stadium. So he might be able to work with guys on developing that Yankee Stadium swing. He was just a good kid, artist mentality, just a peaceful guy, not going to stir up shit in the clubhouse. Loved him. I think he would be a great either like first base coach or, just like maybe not bench coach. You don't want necessarily to be your right-hand man, having never coached in the major leagues before, but, some kind of a role with the team. Assistant hitting coach, assistant infield coach. Who cares? He's there to add the right energy to the clubhouse. Apparently he's playing in the Netherlands right now. Come on. You want to play in the Netherlands or you want to come coach the Yankees? Mike says, class act. 100% agree.
Absolutely. Hey.
This episode brought to you by Game Time. Now, you guys know about Game Time if you watch this channel. Just used it recently to get a couple of tickets. Talked about Jerry Seinfeld. I'm also going to see a play. I'm taking my wife to go see a play for our anniversary. Not going to say what it is in case you watch this, but I'm excited for that. Get last-minute tickets to all your favorite sports, concerts, theater, comedy, you name it. You can find it on Game Time. You can see the view from your seats. You just hold up your phone like this, and it shows you the view. Like, it changes depending on the way you move your head left or right. It's really cool. Use the code NYY Recaps for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time. Lowest price on last-minute tickets guaranteed. Steve says, we need a Joe Torre type. I love that. I mean, we need the stoic kind of like, not your friend, your manager. Your experienced, respected elder. Problem is, a lot of kids these days, and I sound like such an old man like this, they don't respect their elders the way they used to. The experience in the game is not something that they look at. Joseph says, Derek Jeter is manager. He doesn't want to manage. I think he's even said multiple times that he doesn't want to manage. William says, I wouldn't pay a penny to watch this team in person. I bought tickets like a lot of people. I'm going in September. I bought some tickets a while ago when the Yankees looked okay. They looked like they had a shot. It was before Judge got hurt. And, I thought we'd be in it. But now, by the time we go up there, we're going to be probably eliminated. So, what was going to be a fun vlog from the stadium full of energy, it's going to be mostly just go watch the game. See how many hot dogs I can eat without vomiting. All right, let's see here. Let's take a look at the box score. Yankees got 4 hits, as you can see. Rays got 10. Hits to DJ LeMahieu, Everson Pereira, Anthony Volpe, and Kyle Higashioka. Again, 2 solo home runs and a 2-run home run. And a single. Got to do more than that. You got to get better offense than that. Highest batting average on the team is .266 right now, and that's Aaron Judge and Gleyber Torres. Judge been slumping. Rodon lowers his ERA below 6. Hamilton, his ERA is now over 2. And Hamilton's not a guy that I think I would be comfortable going multiple innings with. To me, he seems like a high-energy, short spurt kind of guy. 1 inning. I don't know. Ashland says Gardner should be around the clubhouse. Gardner's another guy that I think would be an excellent coach, an excellent spring training instructor. But the question is, does he want to do it? I think Gardner's one of those guys who wants to spend, now that he's retired, he wants to spend his summers hunting and fishing and camping and, playing with his kids and that type of stuff. And I don't blame him. He's still a young man. Still, probably 40 years my age. If I wasn't playing, I wouldn't want to travel around all over the country and be in meetings and studying videotape. Not with millions and millions of dollars in the bank. No. I'll be in Alaska. I'll be in Hawaii. I'll be in Paris. That's what you do. So, Joseph says, what about Bernie Williams as manager or batting coach? One thing I love about Bernie is that he is an excellent switch hitter. Like, he won a batting title. Problem is, just because you're great at something doesn't always mean you're great at teaching something. He's never shown any interest in coaching. He's he's got a blossoming music career. And I don't think he's interested in giving that up. He likes touring from town to town and, I think he sold out the Garden. Lou Rom says, this team is not a threat to other teams anymore. Very unlike Yankee baseball. Baba Ganoush all over Judge says he was hitless in the series against a good team we needed to beat. And on top of that, I wanted to see a bit more fire from him as a teammate. So, one, I'm not going to get on him for the fire thing, because just because we don't see it in the dugout doesn't mean it's not there. He's a guy who leads by example, I think. Now, he did have a tough series. I'll give you that. He was seeing a steady diet of sliders, couldn't lay off of them, couldn't hit them. Might have been pressing a little bit. Also, might have been a little bit in home run mode because of the series he just had in New York. And sometimes when you do that, and you're hammering fastballs, and then you see a steady diet of sliders, you just can't do anything. You just pull off of it, and that's what it looked like he was doing. But Judge is the least of my concerns. He's one of the best players the Yankees have had in my lifetime. Tabor says, Boone is getting snippy with reporters. About time. Izzy says, Willie Randolph has shown interest in coaching. I love Willie Randolph. He was a great coach with the late 90s teams. I would hire him as manager tomorrow. Great leader, won multiple championships, coached on multiple championship teams, coached in New York, managed in New York. I think he's a great choice. A lot of years of baseball wisdom. Good guy, good clubhouse guy. He was in the clubhouse with Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson. I mean, opposite personalities. He understands the dynamics, believe me. So he might be a little bit old for the job. I don't know how old he is right now, but if he's willing to do it, I would absolutely consider him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a couple more comments, and we're going to wrap it up.
Game over, man. It's game over.
I gotta get out of here.
UT says, Mattingly is manager, Gardner is bench coach, Gregorius is first base coach. Sign me up.
You gotta go.
Christopher says, wasn't Willie a Met? Yes, he was. He was the manager of the Mets.
Most impressive.
I don't know if he even played. I think he might have played with the Mets. It was before my time. I didn't start watching until 87 or so, which I think right near the end of Randolph's career. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. We got the Tigers coming up. It's going to be good 32 games of watching prospects, hopefully. Maybe we'll see the Martian. Thursday is a day game. I will not be covering, since I started working a different shift now, I can't cover the day game recaps. So I can do one either at like 5 o'clock if you guys don't mind joining a little bit later in the evening, or I can do one, later, like 7 o'clock, whatever you guys want, or we can just take the day off because, the season's pretty much over. So, we'll see how that affects opening day next year. But, all right, guys, I will see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.